Hello and welcome to the Intentional Mentoring Monday night live stream. No longer a call, we're actually streaming live on YouTube and simultaneously to 3 Facebook groups as well as 2 YouTube channels. The whole idea is to be able to have our message be heard across multiple devices on multiple platforms instantaneously, and it's just going to get bigger and wider. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the becoming keyword is becoming an entrepreneur, stepping into the shoes of entrepreneurs that have come before you. I'm joined by Mr. Peter Wolfing, and we already have people joining us on the live stream saying, Yay! Hey, Abby, welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. I just love the interactivity because we can hear back from you, and I can put things up on the screen so you see us live. So take it away, Peter.
All right. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks, everybody. And we'll get this stuff ironed out sooner or later, but at least we got everybody on here so this way that you can hear the important messages that we're going to be giving tonight. So as you know, on Monday nights, we're actually going to be opening the Monday night calls up to everyone, not just people in intentional mentoring. I want people to get the word out regarding what we have here. And that was suggested by Chris, and I want to thank him for that. I think that's a good idea. So we're always open to try to get the word out and have people see really the good quality of learning that we're teaching in intentional mentoring. And then if they want to participate in the Tuesdays and Thursdays Zooms and StreamYards, then they can do that and become a member. So Monday nights and Tuesdays and Thursdays, we really want to get into an ideal state of learning, okay? When we're in a relaxed state of mind and we're going to try to realize a maximum state of power for our brain, and we want to be able to put ourselves into a point where we can actually take action, okay? So let me explore this a little bit, and if you can, play around with me a little bit, because I'm going to go into a little bit about meditation, and I know that Victor was trained in that as well too. I don't think I was trained as much as Victor was, but I was trained a little bit. Okay, so let me kind of backtrack this a little bit so you just know where we're going and coming from. So we have the emotional brain, okay, the limbic system of the brain. So we'll get a little bit scientific here, but you kind of see where I'm kind of laying a layered foundation here, okay? And the limbic system is concerned about things like this. Am I going to be accepted, and am I calm? Are things going to be okay going into the future? So it's asking these types of questions to your psyche and to yourself, okay? Surrounding that, we have the neocortex of the brain, okay? That's the thinking part of the brain, okay? We always think that we're kind of teaching as teachers. I consider myself a teacher, okay? That we're teaching as teachers, and yet that's kind of problem solving, okay? The creative part of the brain, and what they've kind of discovered in science, is that neuroscience is that the very farthest part of the brain, okay, the part that's located behind the forehead, okay, over here, is called the prefrontal cortex, which is very, very important, okay? Now, when people meditate, the prefrontal cortex starts to expand, okay? Because when you start to focus on things, what happens, the blood goes there, and you start to get your body focusing on that area, and it starts to expand. When people are thinking about the future, that expands the prefrontal cortex, okay? It's the part of us that gives us the ability to see the big picture, okay? About thinking. What we're going to talk about today is your emerging future, okay? The big picture, okay? It's literally is a plug-in to what's emerging for our humanity and our life, and we're evolving to actually process information more effectively in there, okay? Think of it this way. It's like a skyscraper that we're all living in, your body and your mind, and there's 20 stories above that, okay, that nobody really ever gets to go to, or really maybe a rare few people get to that 20 levels up there, because we're limited by different forms of how we've been brought up and so on, okay? So our goal is to start getting the energy into that part of the brain that allows us to not only see the future, but to live into it more effectively. Okay. To live into it more effectively. Very, very important. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that, how to kind of set yourself up to get that blood going into the frontal part of your brain here. Okay. Now, play along with me. Now, we always said many, many times when you're doing this, it's vital that you participate. Don't just be a wallflower, participate. Okay. So humor me a little bit and just do what I described here to do. Okay. So take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, simply close your eyes. And as you do that, also just let your shoulders drop a bit. Okay. When you've had a bad, busy day and you take a breath in, you sigh and you sit back. Okay. Your shoulders kind of come down. When you're tense, you kind of, your body thinks there's a threat. Okay. Your shoulders come up around your ears, right? So when you relax your shoulders, you immediately create a greater sense of safety in your body and in your mind. Now, imagine that your forehead could just smooth out, okay? You can relax all the muscles around your face, around your eyes, around your cheeks, around your jaw. And if you could bring that very slight hint of a smile to the corners of your eyes and your mouth, and that authentic smile, okay? And say to yourself, I'm okay right now. I'm okay right now. It produces a sense of calm throughout your entire body. And what we're focusing here is the brain. And now notice the breath specifically in touch of your body, okay? The breath coming through your nostrils, through your nose. And as you're breathing, become aware of what you're becoming aware of. So that as you exhale and as you inhale, you can actually feel the way the breath is flowing in and out of your nostrils, and see if you can let that transition kind of between those breaths be smooth, no hesitations, no pauses, no jerks. Try to make them even, okay? Even. Just one smooth, continuous breath, okay? Finally, see if you can get that breath to breathe so that the exhale and the inhale are of similar duration, out and in, a nice pattern that's happening, okay? What happens remarkably is you've taken the part of the brain, which is the most ancient part of the brain, and you said, okay, I'm safe right now. Because your body and parts of your brain, the reptilian part of your brain, wants to protect yourself, right? So you're trying to say to yourself, listen, I'm safe, calm, relax. And when you're trying to be calm and relaxed, you're trying to not put up any barriers to absorb new information, right? You're saying to yourself, I don't have to freeze out of fear of what's coming next. You're okay right now in that space in the body and the space that you're occupying right now, okay? So you've taken that middle part of the brain, the emotional part, and you said, be calm, be calm. Be at peace right now, be calm. And you've taken that thinking part, the neocortex of your brain, and you said, be at balance, be balanced. Be connected so that all of the resources of your body is available to you. All the resources of your brain are available to you. So what you've done is you've upregulated the capacity of your brain into those parts of you that you can think into your future and actually lead a life from the future that's emerging. What you want to do is maintain that sense of your breath in your nostrils back and forth, the relaxation, the shoulders, the face, the cheeks, the mouth, all these different things. Maintain this and then open your eyes. Now, you were closing your eyes, right? Well, practice that some other time if you can, especially don't do it when you're driving, right? So it's just a simple practice. And you can find a lot more about how to do that on YouTube and many other places, okay? So a beautiful thing to understand is that there's so much noise out there. There's so much noise. The internet right now is like fast food for information. Most of it's garbage, right? So much information. We got so much information, but not so much quality information, or we just don't know where to find the quality information. So how do you get that clear signal of what to do next in your life. What to do next. You have to block out all this other stuff. One of the hardest things to do, and it's still so hard for me right now, is to block out all the other stuff, all the other thoughts, all the other noises when you're trying to meditate. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to do that. But you want to try to do that in practice. But again, practice over time, and you'll be able to do that and get better and better at it as you go. So don't get frustrated when you're first doing that. You're going to have these thoughts bouncing in and bouncing out all the time. Okay. So what you want to do is say, really get connected with that true voice that you have inside of you, kind of that insight, that at a gut level instinct that it says, this is the direction I need to go, right? This is the way I want to go. This is my truth. This is how I'm going to proceed with my business, my life, my relationships, and so on. And you need to have with that a sense of security and a sense of certainty going forward with that. So you really have to believe it and understand it with your heart of hearts that that's the way to go, okay? And feel comfortable with that. There's this idea that our ability or our talent, which we'll talk about in a little bit, this talent to live our lives is predicated on being very successful and doing it step by step by step. So we succeed, we try to reproduce it, we succeed again, we try to reproduce it, we succeed again, and if we reproduce it, and maybe if we don't reproduce it, what happens? What do? We get all discombobulated because we trip up when we fail because we weren't able to reproduce that, okay? So what you want to do as human beings, being creatures of habit that we are, and habits are a good thing and a bad thing, don't get me wrong, and we've talked a lot about atomic habits and different things like that in past sessions that we've done, is that we want to look into our future and figure out how we're going to get there, wherever there is, okay, there in quotes, to get there by everything that we've learned up until now. This is a key point, okay? If you want to do something extraordinary that you have never done before, how are you going to get there by trying to do everything by what you've learned up until now? Because you've never done it before, okay? It's almost like there's a big abyss in front of us to try to accomplish things. So you have to think differently. And we say this all the time as well, too. Famous quote, and I'm paraphrasing here because I'm not going to remember exactly, but you can't solve the current problems you have with the current thinking that got you there in the first place, right? So you have to think differently, okay? We don't really know what the next steps are that we need to take to go to the emerging future that we want. So there's a good clue here that when you're at this place where all of your problem solving isn't solving the problem that you want, and your desire to make it happen isn't making it happen. How many times have we ever been there? I mean, all the time, right? So when you know you can do it and you know you want to do it, but you're not able to do it. It's like you're in this box and the instructions to get outside of the box are taped to the outside of the box and you can't read it. So you know it's there somewhere, but you can't. And you need someone to help you and guide you to be able to instruct you what to do. So, okay. So there's a point in which there needs to be a shift taking place in the way you're thinking, okay? So you can't download that in your history, in the experiences, the life experiences of your life up until that point. So in order to get into your future, you have to do something else. You have to do something different. And that something else is literally dropping in, we call it dropping into an awareness of this greater intelligence, this vibrational frequency, this spirit that's out there. Many people call it God, grand overall desire, you call it whatever you want, but there's something there, okay? So you need to grab into something greater than yourself, okay? And it leaves clues in your life, okay? It leaves clues in your life and all around, okay? And don't worry about if you're confused right now and all this type of stuff. Don't worry about it, okay? Just understand that there's other things out there that we just don't understand, okay? So think about this for a second. When we're born into the world, we're utterly helpless. We're reliant on everybody else around us to feed us, to clothe us, to clean us, to do everything for us, okay? We're totally dependent on the authority figures in our life, our parents, on the world, everything, okay? We're like SpongeBob. Everything gets absorbed because that's how we survive, okay? And so we're looking to them for everything and asking really them, what do I need to succeed in my life? Okay. And we're taking on this programming, the messages of this culture that's all around us. And it might be our family, of course. Now it's media. Now it's internet. Okay. And I got to tell you, Vic, I don't know if you saw this movie on Netflix, The Social Dilemma, but it's man was not really meant to to really move as fast as the internet's coming at us. I'll tell you that right now. And all this psychology that they're programming into all these different things to really psych us out. It's really, really scary. Maybe sometime we'll talk about that on a different session. Okay, so our culture is taught to us, basically, we'll keep it simple, in our school systems and religious institutions, and they're telling us what we need to know and what we need to believe in order to lead a successful life. And so by the time we get to adulthood, we've reached a developmental level that psychologists call the socialized mind, okay? And that's great because it lets us live in society, okay? Whichever society we live in, we can successfully live in society because of the socialized mind. And when we create our systems and the programming in doing it, we're like, wait a minute, there's got to be more than this right now. Have you ever said to yourself, there's got to be more? There's got to be more than this. I'm going around and around and around, and this we're living in this hamster wheel that had been created for us. Okay, so what you need to do is think different, and you need to transform your life to the next developmental level from the socialized mind, and that's called the self-authoring mind. The self-authoring mind. Now, most people, most fairly successful people that are just not running on subconscious all the time are self-authoring. Okay, elite learners already understand that the programming of the world around you isn't sufficient to get you where you want to go. The future that you have a sense of and the future that you're looking into puts us on a transition to the developmental mind. Okay, now the next one from the self-authoring mind is where you really want to try to get to, which is the self-transforming mind. Self-authoring to self-transforming mind. It's the process of transformation, not changing our lives, but truly transforming our lives by connecting us to a deeper source that's motivating us to kind of play a part in this whole conglomeration that's around us, all right? Everything that's unfolding around us. So we're trying to find our true self that goes into this world and delivers our gifts that are inside of us that we have to unfold. You want to try to get and deliver our gifts to the world and make the world all the better for it. Okay. We're already imbued with this massive intelligence inside of us already. We've just forgotten. I've said this many, many times. You're already resourced with everything you need to be successful. It's already inside of you. So we don't need to tell people how to live their lives, right? Many times in the educational system, what do they do? What do they try to do to tell you? And what's the methodology that they're trying to teach you? Okay. You can't do it until I instruct you. You're an empty barrel. We have to fill you with our wisdom, our belief systems, our intelligences, and then you'll be successful in the world. But there's a lot of philosophies throughout human history that said, listen, we're not an empty vessel. We're full already. Educators' jobs, in my humble opinion, should be to bring forth that brilliance that's already inside of you. Cultivate that like Miracle-Gro, okay? Bring forth the genius that's already inside of us that we're born with. I did a session just a few weeks ago called You Are Perfect. You're born perfect with everything that you need inside of you already. You're just domesticated. You're born to win, and you're domesticated over time, and you're domesticated to lose over time. And so you should ask the question, a better question really, is what's a better way to learn? Socrates said, the results that we want to get are in direct relation to the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. What's a better way to learn? How can I gain access to the wisdom that's already in me? Isn't that a better question? So once you realize this and you actually at a gut level believe that, you're going to become more skilled at changing yourself because you're not broken. Okay. And society doesn't have to fix you, and society doesn't have to plug in what they think should be inside of you. Okay. You can go into whatever direction you want, and you don't have to be part of the mass of 97%. You can be part of the 1, 2, and 3%. The people that make things happen, that knows that, listen, this is my truth and I can make it happen because I am fully resourced. The truth is that most people who aren't getting where they want to go don't think of it as fear. They're stuck, but they don't think of it as they have a fear of something. They have this conscious awareness that they're not really there, right? They're just not ready to get to the next level, and so they're kind of at a different level consciously. Okay, so we want you to get to that development level where you're actually going to make things happen in your life. Okay, so you want to get to an assumption which is based on a set of mistaken conclusions that you can do something. Okay. Now, I was under this mistaken conclusion, this assumption back then, back in maybe 30 years ago, that I wasn't worthy. I wasn't worthy to make the kind of money that I should be making. Right. And so you're brought up with these two sets of assumptions. One assumption is you have these mistaken conclusions. I'm not worthy. Who do you think you could do that? That kind of thing. And we want to get you to an assumption that you are worthy, that you have everything you need, that you can accomplish anything and you want in your life, right? And there's these competing assumptions inside of us, good, bad, yin, yang, black and white, okay? And whichever one wins is the one you feed. Okay, so you want to try to push out the one that's not servicing you for the one that is servicing you. Okay, so you want to be able to get to the point where, hey, listen, if I try the 5th time, the 10th time, the 20th time, I'm going to keep on going. Okay, not that I'm going to quit. What many people do is they don't even start to do anything. They don't even start on their dream because they're already thinking about, what about this 15th step that I didn't think about yet? And so they don't start anything, right? So they don't do anything. Okay. So, guys, you want to be able to start with the confidence that you're not going to know everything all the time. Okay. There's a saying that says you want to jump and build your wings on the way down, because you are going to figure it out. And even if you don't, you're going to learn, and you can still readjust all the time. Okay. You want to be able to grow as a person. You want to be able to have your talents work for you, because everyone has different types of talents. And maybe you've forgotten what they are, or maybe you have to cultivate what they are, but you need to take small steps along the way. Okay. So whatever's working for you, do more of it. Whatever's not working, inquire about it, find out more about it, look into it, find out what this garbage information is and avoid it, and find the quality information from a mentor or coach, or you can find it on the internet as well. In some cases, we got to really search for it. Look into it and try to adjust and make it better. Okay, what else do I have to do to be able to make it better that I haven't been doing up until now? Okay, if I want to become a better internet marketer, what am I not doing right now that I should be doing in order to get me closer to my goal? Quality questions. Okay, this will start to really dramatically steer you in the direction of your future. Okay, so guys, this information, in summary, is critical. First, you have to do is calm your mind, focus on getting this part of your brain going, the frontal cortex of your brain going. Get the blood over there, relax, block out the excess noise that's out there. Try to focus. Try to focus. Try to think, listen, I am resourced with the qualities that I need already. I just have to cultivate them and rediscover them in my life. Who can help me to be able to get to my emerging future? Napoleon Hill talks about this, one of the 6 intellectual faculties, where you are going towards your vision, but you're living from your emerging future. And it's your future is pulling you versus you going towards it. It's a whole different mindset. Whole different mindset. So quiet your mind and visualize your life, right? So you have this this practice that you can do every single day, meditation. Now, you decide on what kind of meditation you want. Many people just call it praying. Great. Just make sure you do it every single day. You'll get better and better and better as you go along the line, because it's a discipline. It's a practice, just like anything else. Okay. So you want to be able to practice this all the time, like a routine. Get yourself in there. You're going to be so happy when you learn how to do this in your life. Quiet everything. I like to do it like I always tell everybody, hey, listen, I'm an early bird. That ingrained to me when I was in the Marines, and it's quiet. I have my most focus at that time. I have my most biorhythm. I know my biorhythm and my energy is that time, and I can think, and I write like crazy in the morning. You'll see me sometimes on trainings and Zooms. When it starts getting late, I start zoning out because I'm running on fumes at that point. Victor will tell you that. And even Selena's been on there. She says, Peter, you're showing it. What did she say last time? Peter, you're showing it. You wear your energy on your sleeve, and I happen to do that. I'm sorry, but I just know my limitations, right? So, guys, we're gonna phase into what we were going to talk about, and what we sent out about learning about your talents. Okay, how do you become a successful entrepreneur? What are your dreams? What are your desires? Do they align with your core values? These are some of the things we're going to talk about. And I'm going to have Victor come on and talk a little bit more about your talents and what these have to do with each other. So, Vic, why don't you come out a little bit and start to explain a little bit more about it?
Yeah, I was actually really, really inspired today when this is actually the first time I've written something and sent it to you, and you never edited it. Entire essay.
I said, Victor usually, this is what he does. He sends something to me, he says, Peterize it. Peterize it, right? And I'm like, Vic, this is great. Nothing to do here. Just do it. There's nothing to do here. It's good. It's really, really good.
Yeah, so what I want to do is just read it, because I think it impacts people in such a way that I believe that you'll get what we're talking about here. So, Abby, thank you, Abby. I just want to acknowledge Abby. She's in the chat. She's participating. Many of you others could also be participating and put your answers to questions in. But we asked the questions: what are your dreams? What are your desires? And do they align with your core values? And she said something that impacted me, which is, I think, how a lot of people feel. And I got good news and bad news. Abby, you already have enough money to be free. You already have that. Okay. When you start to acknowledge what you already have, then the universe will give you more of it. And this is interesting. Like when I was broke and virtually homeless and surfing the beaches of Hawaii, I was totally free, and I could survive and eat off of tips and what people gave me. And you know what? It was a very, very freeing place to be. But I decided, you know what? I'm not quite ready for this type of lifestyle of living on coconuts and berries and living off the land. Yeah, and pizzas, right? I played in a pizza parlor.
You were pretty much grazing.
Yeah, I was grazing pretty much. But I was totally free. You see what I'm saying? As I lived in paradise, I was totally free. I could do anything I wanted, whenever I wanted, and I didn't have anyone telling me I needed to do anything. And it was, from there, I transitioned into being a marketing director for a retreat center. And, picture this. They gave me a beautiful house, like my own little cottage in a retreat center, underneath in the garden with mountains behind me. A waterfall was very close by that I could go swim in. And they gave me that in exchange, plus money for me to go book their retreat center. And I booked it because I had the talent. See, that's what we were talking about with talent. Okay. When people recognize your talent, they will open up all kinds of doors for you. And I realized, okay, so Peter, I don't think I've ever shared this story, but I got so good at booking their retreat center. They had a retreat that was coming there, and they paid me to leave my own room. So I got evicted because I did such a good job. And, the sad part was, at that point, once they did this one retreat, and they moved me out of my own home, I couldn't go back anymore because their daughter took over. She then learned my secret sauce, and they realized, you know what? We already moved you out. Thank you very much. Move on. And so I moved back to California. I mean, I moved to Maui first and then California, but it's the journey. You see, there's this journey that we're going on, and we're moving through life as a journey. And so I'm going to go back to reading a little bit about the email. Okay, so here's what I wrote. And becoming successful in life and business is about becoming aligned with your core values, dreams, and desires that are right for you at a deeper level. So if you're just seeing the surface of, I want to have enough money to be free, you're not looking deep enough, and the universe and your subconscious mind, or that part of you that is deep in meditation, won't give you anything more than what you already have until you start acknowledging what you've already been given. And that's like the good news and the bad news, right? So we live in the Western world so much more affluently than people in the third world, or there's even a fourth world I've heard now, right?
Mm-hmm.
These people are like, you can go back and watch old films about, the Cold War, pre-Cold War Soviet Union, where people are standing in line for loaves of bread. And in the modern equivalent of that, I have a new friend now, and she actually is on a military base in Texas that went through all those freezing cold weathers. And she joined our Dungeons and Dragons guild. That's like what I do in my downtime, in my free time. I'm rebuilding my guild. I love guilds. I used to, be a guild master, and I love having these guilds where people in their downtime, we all get together, we have fun, we talk, we share about life. Anyway, she's trapped in a military base in Texas playing her Xbox. And I said, oh, which one do you have? The Xbox One X or the Xbox Series X that no one can get, which is like the next generation. So picture this. The new technology is so new that they had an auction. And if you won the auction, then you were eligible to buy it. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I thought about that. I said, okay, this is no different than standing in line to get a loaf of bread. Right? If there's only so much bread and it's freezing outside and you're standing in line to get a loaf of bread, it's all supply, it's all demand. There's more demand than there is supply. There's more demand for these consoles than there is for these other things. Imagine that. Only people in the military could be part of this auction, and she won the auction, which made her eligible to buy something. Think about that. How many times are we marketing, but we're saying, hey, anybody can buy this, right? Just click the button, pay your $97 or your $67, and you can get it. No. You have to win the auction in order to be eligible to buy something for $499. You see, that's the power that these huge corporations have created, because they're holding back supply, whether it's just coincidence because of a lockdown or it's deliberate, we'll never know. But the reality is they've created such a demand for something that people want it. And so I challenge you all to create that kind of demand for your talent. Create that kind of demand for what it is that you do, and people will be banging on your doors to join your business. They're going to be banging on when you tell them, hey, I'm sorry, but I'm not really on Facebook Messenger. I'm not really on Instagram. Reach out to me on Skype. They're not going to go, oh, I don't use Skype. I said, oh, sorry, I can't help you. Right? I said, okay, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't use LinkedIn. Oh, sorry, then I can't help you. right? You have to set the terms for how you can be communicated with, and that's a function of your demand. So do you really need that Lamborghini sports car? Do you really need the dream vacation? Do you really need the money? Do you really, really need it? No, you probably don't. You actually already have everything that you want and everything that you have by the mere virtue that you already have it. And so here's a concept that I learned from one of my mentors, and it completely changed my life and my business. He said, start being grateful for what you already have, and then deliberately create the wealth that you already have. I said, how do you do that? I said, okay, so go into your bank account, look at the balance, and acknowledge, hey, I did that. I created that. Okay. You don't need to future pace yourself and saying, oh, I want to see an extra digit on that account. That'll come with service. When you start serving others, that number, that extra digit is going to increase by 1 or 2 digits. That's a 10-fold or 100-fold increase. See, while most of the internet is selling the imagine if lifestyle, deep down, if you align with those pictures in your mind, you'll undoubtedly be disappointed. Because chances are, if you were given that lifestyle, right? If you were given the lifestyle that Elon Musk has, you probably wouldn't want it. If you were given the lifestyle that Jeff Bezos has, constantly watching your back, having security guards take you everywhere you want, that's not freedom, right? Having everybody wanting something from you. Do you really, really need that? Do you really, really want that? So your pictures that you create in your mind, are they even yours? Or are they something you saw on the internet that you said, oh, I want that? Ooh. Peter.
Yep.
Back to you. I got to check on something.
Okay. All right. No problem. So what he's saying is that what you think you want is probably not what you really want. You have to kind of go into the deepest, darkest recesses of your mind and decide what it is that I really want. Am I just saying I want something that I saw on Instagram or on Pinterest, and I'm seeing a 1-minute slice of somebody's life, right? Because all they're doing is showing you the best parts of their life, and people get that confused with, oh, I want a life like that. Do you really want that? Try to decide what's the most important thing. So is money and all this type of thing the most important thing to you? A lot of people say yes. If you say yes, okay, more power to you. But most people will find that it's really not the most important thing. Yes, we want to be comfortable, and yes, we want money coming in and things like that, of course. It's an enabler. Let me put it, that's a great word for that. Money is an enabler to enable us to grow more as a person. Okay. So I do an actual 1-hour training on the title is You Deserve to Be Rich. And the concept of that is not so much that you're trying to be rich, but you deserve to be rich as far as the money from your talents because you've done a great job servicing people, but it's what the money enables you to do as a person. Okay. Some people, money just makes them an even worse person. But I find that most people, if they become wealthier, they just become more of a better person. But money also enables you to do things that you're not able to do if you don't have money. So this way you can grow. Are you able to experience the Great Wall of China or Athens or the pyramids or Peru or Chichen Itza or someplace around the world, or experiencing different cultures and learning by experiencing something that you would never be able to do if you didn't have the money? That's what I'm talking about. Money can enable you to experience things, to become a better person. So this way you can share that information with other people. Okay. So this concept of what do I really want is vitally important So this way you could decide, okay, how do I want to get there? How am I going to be able to realize my talents and abilities to be able to get to where I want to go? So, at this point in my life, I kind of I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to help other people. And as a byproduct of that, I make money. Okay. It's money is not my driving force. It's an enabler to help me get to where I want to go by helping other people. And that transactional effect is what I found that is really the most important thing for me, because it's helping 10, 50, 100, 10,000, 20,000 or more people be able to change their life. And of course, from that, I make a little bit, which is the whole point in the networking concept. Vic, I see you're back. Hey, Tina.
Yeah. Tina Curran says, I've learned so much from both of you, and I had to step back and ask, how can I really help others? And see, that's where your talent comes in, right? I had a friend of mine say, you know what? Just having you listen to me changed my life. Literally, right? They're going through some rough times, but just listening to them without wanting to offer advice, change them, or be anything, just there's a way of listening that we learn in certain circles. And I could just give you a little hint about it. You listen very quietly. You're monitoring your own thoughts. And anytime you see one of your thoughts come up as you're listening to someone, you let it go. And you focus on just appreciating the person for who they are, exactly how they are, without wanting to change them, without wanting to adjust them, without wanting to sell them anything, without anything. It's even deeper than compassion, because compassion still goes into suffering, right? The Buddhists and the Eastern traditions are all about suffering. Even the Christian tradition is about suffering, right? The symbolism of suffering is embedded inside of our culture. We don't really know. It's kind of like you're either suffering or you're not suffering, right? What if we switch that to being happy or just being, right? Because what you really want in life is something so simple. We want happiness. We want time freedom. And we want people around us who love and appreciate us. You know that some people will do more for acknowledgement than they will for money?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Once you have all the money in the world that you need, what are you going to do next? Someone asked me the question, Vic, if you sold your companies, for $1 billion, what would you do then? I said, I probably would invest in other people's companies. That's what I would do, because I would want to see how could I take what they've did and combine it with something that I have in my inventory. I just keep doing what I'm doing, which is making better and better software. But I would now have more resources with which to do that. So you're always coming from the stage of refinement. But what I'm challenging you all to do now is refine your vision. See, we're constantly refining our core values and our needs based on being alive. And that's what's the beauty of getting older, and also the curse, because you realize that when you're young, you have a lot more time than you have money. And when you get older, you have a lot less time and you have more money. Have you noticed that, Peter?
Oh, yeah. Personally. Personally.
So the world you discover, once you're aligned with your core needs and your values, it feels more familiar to you. It feels like, oh, wow, this is where I want to be. And then I gave this example in the email, which all of you received. If you didn't receive it, go to intentionalmentoring.com and opt in. We will be resending it out because, we've also learned a lot about email. We've learned that, it's email, YouTube, all these things are all, a lot of what's happened to me right now is like, there's this kid, maybe he's finally 30 by now. His name is Jimmy Donaldson, and he's known as Mr. Beast, and he's one of the top 3 YouTubers of all time. And I spent 5 hours listening to his mentor, Daryl Eves. And if Daryl watches this video, I really, really love you and appreciate you, what you've done. But he was the mentor of one of the top guys on the whole internet, right? He was the guy that got him from his early 20s and helped him produce videos, helped him figure out, okay. And he said something really powerful. He said that YouTube is very simple. Just make videos that people want to watch. And then I said, man, that's tough.
So Vic, it's like this. Big videos I want to watch. Oh, well. Revelation.
Yeah, but I'm a contrarian, right? So I see, I learned this from mathematics. It's something called corollaries. Okay. Every time you make a statement like that, there's always a corollary. And look up that word corollary. So the corollary to make videos that people want to watch. Let's think about that. What if you make a video and people don't want to watch it? What is the algorithm going to do, Peter?
It's going to push it down, right?
Yeah. How does the algorithm work? Well, I learned that in 2012, the YouTube algorithm combined with the general Google artificial intelligence algorithm. And what that means in a nutshell is that they were looking at habits and behaviors and preferences and things like that. So let's say you have 5,000 subscribers, as you and I both do, okay? And we do a live stream, and YouTube pushes it out through notifications to, on average, let's say 200 or 300 people, right? And only 1 or 2 people show up or watch. They're just going to cut it off right there because they say, you know what, this was a mistake. Your subscribers are not actually interested in what this thing is all about. So if you make videos and your audience is not watching them, then it prevents future audiences from seeing it. That's the corollary. And I started applying that to email. I said, wow, if I send an email and people are not opening and they're not clicking for whatever reason, that's going to prevent my future emails from being delivered. And see, inside of that is a huge, huge, huge secret, because you now have to say, you know what? I have more results from these 10 people on a percentage basis than I do from tens of thousands of people. People say, Vic, how much traffic do you get? I said, I get as much as I want. I can go with my skill level and within 3 hours get 10,000 people to watch a video like that. It cost me about $400, right? If I want to spread it out longer and have those 10,000 people see it instead of in a day, instead of like a week or 2 weeks, maybe $200. So what I've learned is that the ability to reach people is nowhere related to traffic. In fact, I think the word traffic is irrelevant today. Yeah. And I'm a traffic expert, right? Traffic is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is not traffic. It's not clicks. It's not even sales. It's service. It's service. It's talent. And as you serve others with your talent, that's what's going to cause people to want to connect with you on deeper levels. Back to you, Peter.
Yeah, it's finally important. I mean, on these different intentional mentoring sessions that we do, we're trying to give you the talent or the ability to realize your talent by becoming a better copywriter, becoming a better funnel builder using the Builderall system that we both endorse, by becoming a better poster on Facebook using SociSnap, by becoming a better speaker, a better salesperson in network marketing, a better sponsor. And these are all up-leveling your skill level. So this way you can command more money. And when you do things, people will come, or whatever you're looking to engage them with. So guys, that's important. And so we're doing all of this here. Monday is more like a mindset type of class, but if you start to really take some of these things that we're teaching you and take them to heart and start to really do these different things, then you're going to up your game, and the money will come. The money will come. As long as you take action in the right way and you learn consistently, the money is going to come. Thank you very much for people posting on there. Oscar, thank you very much. Tina, thank you very much. Thanks for saying that. Well, Oscar says, wow, great stuff. Vic, I love this StreamYard when they're showing
Yes.
that stuff. It's great.
A
little distracting, but I love it.
I just upgraded to the top level of StreamYard, and I just love this tool because we can actually go live, Peter. Mm-hmm. We can go live to 8 places at once. Is that amazing or what?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Right now we're on 3 Facebook channels and 2 YouTube channels simultaneously. And I have an announcement. We're going to go live directly into the Vertex Live event. It's going to be available for everyone. And we're also going to be doing a little test tomorrow with Zoom, because what I'd like to do is to see if it's possible for us to combine Zoom with this StreamYard in such a clever way that everyone feels like they can participate. Everyone feels like they can be part of a conversation and all be connected. So let's talk a little bit about Vertex Live, and then we'll get back to this more about this world that you see yourself in. Because that was really what I wanted to say, is it's this world. The world, the environment that you see yourself in. So like, here's an example I gave from the email. If you love writing, you might picture yourself in a mountain cottage with a stream where you're writing your book. And a lot of the best-selling authors, at least when I knew them, like Deepak Chopra. Sorry. Deepak Chopra is my improv character, which is a parody on Deepak Chopra. But I love Deepak. I interviewed him more than a dozen times back in the early days. Love his stuff. And Jack Canfield, before he wrote the Chicken Soup series. They all wrote their books, their first major books, with a pen and yellow pads, right? They wrote them out, and then later on they had like their assistants or something like that type them in, and then would make a draft, and then so on and so forth. But a lot of the writers that you see that are published, they will either speak their books and dictate them, or they will write them out. Very few of them will actually sit down at the computer and just start writing it out. A lot of nonfiction authors do, but I know that Stephen King, he wrote all of his on the those analog typewriters because he liked the feeling of the manual keys. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you love writing, you might picture this mountain cottage with the stream where you're sitting down and writing your great novel. Or maybe in the modern era, you might want to connect with other writers in a community. So like just today, I've been negotiating a contract. We're going to be executing it tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a very large global conference that I was a keynote speaker at a number of years ago for the Best-Selling Authors International Organization. And we're going to be doing their event in April. Based upon a lot of the things that people have seen that's possible with Zoom, because they've always had physical events, and this is the first time that they're having a virtual event. And picture that, there's going to be best-selling authors from all over the world, thousands of best-selling authors, all getting together in a virtual environment to share, collaborate, give out awards, and things like that. So I think it's wonderful, right? So
Mhm.
that's the result of a vision that I had. I said, okay, what's my vision? I want to do Zooms that impact people. And then StreamYard came along and said, wow, this is better than Zoom. We can actually hear from people. People can actually say something and we can bring them up on the screen like Oscar. Wow, great stuff, right? Thousands of people are going to see your name. Now, there's a good news and bad news about that. If you're on YouTube, they're going to type your name into YouTube and they're going to look up. And if they see that you have no subscribers, they're going to know you're a newbie. See, this is the silver lining as well as the not so good thing about having a YouTube channel. When you have a YouTube channel, and let's say you're out there and you're saying, hey, I'm this internet marketing expert, follow me, right? And then they go to your channel and you have like 10 subscribers and maybe 3 videos. What kind of an expert are you? You see what I mean? You haven't paid your dues. Does that make sense, Peter?
Yep.
You got to pay your dues. And, I know it's challenging, but in the process of getting to your 100th subscriber is your first milestone, your 1,000th subscriber is your next one. Getting up to 5,000 doesn't really count, but in our minds it does because that's where Peter and I are at. There are people that they're like 25, 30 years old and they've generated 100,000 subscribers in no time at all.
Yep.
It's simply because they have a certain way of being. They have a certain way. They have figured out what people need. And they have made videos that solve that need in a very short period of time. And I'll say it right here. You got to be able to say it in 5 minutes or less. Right? And if you have people responding to a nugget that you drop for 5 minutes, then they'll sit and they'll watch 3 or 4 hours. I mean, it's interesting. There's these trends right now of seeing who can be on the longest live stream. So Daryl, who I mentioned before, he did 12 hours live streaming. 12 hours live streaming.
It's like, wow.
That's a record. In fact, that is the maximum that you can be. It was 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds. Because if you go over that mark, it actually, something really bad happens and you might lose all 12 hours. I think it just cuts off at that point.
Uh-huh.
And so he has the longest live stream, and I put that live stream in my playlist for people who actually want to sit down and learn from one of the grand masters of YouTube exactly what he's doing. But see, the thing is, he's doing it so differently than what I teach. I teach search engine optimization. Like we had a live stream yesterday that went on for about 3 hours. 2 hours of it, maybe 2.5 hours of it was pre-recorded. And what I love about that is I only had to show up live for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes or so. And then people were there for 3 hours at a time. And they got tremendous value. And we made some connections with people that had just been sort of watching us, but we actually brought them in on camera and they were able to participate. This interactive technology is just mind-blowing. And what I love is our ability to be able to communicate with people through this little lens that we have to the world and have them give us feedback. Say, you know what? I totally never thought of it that way. That's a great idea, right? So if there ever was any secret of making money online, it's quite simple. It's talent. It's talent. You realize you could probably generate 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers if you just simply made a pretty good video on how to tie a bow tie, right? How to tie a bow tie, or how to solve a Rubik's Cube. Those are still some of the simplest things. I'm making a video right now. I just bought my first Apple in 41 years. My second Apple. My first Apple was the Apple II, and I haven't bought another Apple device in 41 years. And this is my first live stream on my new Apple device. It's pretty cool. But the reason I'm saying that is the technology is just a tool. Is the Apple any better than Windows? I don't know. I'm actually looking at it, and it's very similar. The technology is extremely similar. But one thing, so half of the world, let's say 80% of the world actually is on Windows and 20% is on Mac. We could look at those exact numbers, but I think it's fairly high in that way. Okay. But a lot of the artists and the creatives and things like that are on their Macs. Well, here's an example of a kind of video you could do. I did not know this, but there is a new update to Microsoft Windows. It's really funny that I'm actually saying this on a Mac, but most of you don't know this. So here's an example of a video you could make. That would be a great talent. If you have a talent of getting people to listen to you, you have a great talent. So for all of you Windows users, there is a new update to Windows that does not exist through Windows Update. And it's funny because the only way to get to it is through the little troubleshooting app. And I'm also going to put the links below this video in the description where you can download it. My other system that I normally broadcast on, Peter, it's not as fancy as this one with a nice library. A lot of people sometimes think that this is a green screen, right? Just to prove to you that this is not a green screen. One of my biggest selling videos is, do you remember this guy, Peter?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
This is my unicorn mascot. And so just to prove to you, this is not computer graphics. I can throw him on the couch back there and you can see he actually landed back there. So yeah, this is my library and these are my books.
What was that, Eugene?
That was Eugene. Eugene the unicorn. Yeah. So yeah, so Abby says, yay, Apple, right? All right, so I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I'm on an Apple device that's more powerful than a MacBook Pro and costs half the cost. Okay, it's like twice or three times as powerful as a MacBook Pro, and it's a half the cost of a MacBook Pro. That's what I'm currently on right now. If you'd like to know what device I'm using, check the description below. You see how you can like lure people in with a little like, whoa, I kind of want to know that. If you want to know how to update to the latest version of Windows, there's a website you have to go to. It's not really publicly even known. And when you go there, you can actually download the upgrade tool. We are still operating on the version of Windows that was released 2 or 3 years ago. And they've released a new version in October, but it hasn't been pushed out through to Windows Update. So people don't even know, and they don't even know that they don't know, right? But now that you know, you're going to go try to figure that out, aren't you, Peter? So I'm upgrading my system right now, and I'm kind of like going, well, why did they not tell me about this? Why did I have to figure it out? As soon as you figure anything out that would serve others, make a video about it. I was asked to give my talk at this best-selling authors conference, and they loved it. They said, yeah, you should do tube relevance, how to generate your first 1 million views on YouTube without a lot of effort. And I'm just going to say just what I told you here. The key to having it be not a lot of effort is by simply finding some simple thing that lots of people have challenges with and saying, hey, I did it. It worked for me. Here's how I did it. You can do it too. But you can't make a video if you haven't done it, right? Just like you couldn't be making a tutorial on how to use Builderall if you don't have Builderall, right? You couldn't be making a tutorial on how to optimize Mailing Boss for maximum delivery if you've never gone through it, right? So that's why you have to dig into these tools. So that's where talent comes from. Well, how do you develop talent? I'm going to go back to the article here. Okay. When you're talented at something, let me bring Selena in here. Hi, Selena.
Oh, hello.
Hi, Selena.
Hi.
I wanted to just, because she's one of the most talented people I know.
Thank you.
Yes. Because you love what you do and you're good at it, right? And other people say so, not just you, right? So what did I just do? I, the authority, am saying that you are talented.
Yes.
Okay. What that does is it causes you to not have to justify your own talents to yourself. And we've talked about that in previous sessions about the Dunning and Kruger effect. And Peter, I'm going to bring you back in just a second. I just want to just make sure that we have that nice little intentional mentoring branding there. But so she's so talented. She's organized. She's a feminine leader, right? You know what you want to do and you're going for it. You're inspiring to people. People are wanting to join your team. You're growing your business, right? You have the support of your family. And see, that's the world that you live in. And what I want to just invite you to is just be grateful for the world that you live in and allow that world to say, okay, I'm almost going to have tears come to my eyes because one of my earliest mentors, I met her when I was a senior in college. I just turned 21 and I just started learning from Robert G. Allen and Mark Victor Hansen and went to my first mastermind. And then I met this lady, and truth be told, she was a little older than me, but I thought she was like an older woman and she was quite attractive. And I kind of wanted to, be romantically involved with her. And she said, no, that's not the case. That's not my role with you. I'm your spiritual advisor. I just learned that she passed away not long ago.
I'm sorry.
But one of the things she taught me, she says, just go where you're invited. Just go where you're invited, right? Mm. And when people talk, right, when you're talking with someone, pay attention to if they're looking like they're getting bored or they're not listening to what you're listening to or they're not quite understanding. And if they do that, just stop talking and turn around and ask them something about themselves, because you've probably reached the saturation point of what they can hear about whatever it is that's important to you. And see, that's the place in the world where you want to develop your talent. And I really think I became a much better piano player because of the house that she gave me. She didn't really give it me. She was in the final years of her life. She was a caretaker for this multi-million-dollar property that you could only rent for 9 months, and you had to prove that you had the income to support it. And they had a grand piano there, and I was there for 9 months, and that was my last 9 months in the Hawaiian Islands.
Wow.
And that was a place where I could develop my talent, and I could also be with my mentor and be like on a retreat. And when that 9 months was over, I had to leave. But during that time, I recorded 3 CDs of music, which I've never released, and I just now released them on my YouTube channel. And I had some conversations with YouTube about it, and they said, well, you're not quite yet eligible for our artists program, but if you get the support of your community and more people start listening to your music, then I'm sure you'll get there real soon. So there's these stages of growth that the world at large puts us through, that we have these criteria that we have to meet. It doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're in the Academy Awards, the actors, Screen Actors Guild, or you're in the musical industry. They said that you have to have 3 album releases through a publisher, which means that you can't be releasing the album yourself, right? You have to have a bona fide publisher. So I found out, okay, what's the next step? So that was really bring me back to Sharon, who was my mentor. She said, all you really need to do is figure out your next step. Just ask yourself, what's my next step? And then get quiet, close your eyes, listen to that quiet place, and that subtle little voice will tell you what your next step is. And you have to be able to discern between the quiet little voice that says what the next step is, the meditative voice, and your mind thinks, oh, here's what I think my next step is. You want to feel what that next step is. You want to be that next step, and you want to know it. You want to know that that's what it is, right? Like I knew when I heard Peter Wolfing speak for the very first time, I knew I was going to meet him someday. I knew that I was going to help him in his business someday, but I had to prove myself first before I had that opportunity. And so that's how all of us go. So let me bring Peter back in and make the image a little bit more colorful here. Before I do that, Selena, any comments you want to say before we dive deep?
Well, I want to say thank you so much for bringing me on and for your kind compliments. I really have gained so much from being part of this intentional mentoring program by you and Peter. And my husband and I are both just so incredibly grateful for everything that we've learned. So thank you.
All right. So now we did something for the first time. All 3 of us are on camera. Wow. Look at that. Isn't that cool?
I like it. I like it.
All right. So you're in Los Angeles, right? Selena?
I'm in Mission Viejo. That's in Orange County, California.
Orange County. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, great.
Why did I think you lived in Hawaii?
Because everything that we're branded with is aloha concepts.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
We love Hawaii. That's our favorite place.
You fooled me. Okay.
Abby says, good advice. Isn't this cool? We have 3 of us in this. I didn't even know you could do that. That's cool.
That's because you moved up in the world and you got the big one. Right?
Yeah, I got the big kahuna. Big cojones.
Big kahuna, that's another Hawaii term, right?
Yeah, exactly. All right, so the discussion, now I want to have this discussion because I think we're now, we got about 10 minutes left in the broadcast. We usually go for about 90 minutes. I want to make this interactive as possible because, you realize, Peter, we have had progressively more and more people join our stream as we go on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the stream itself, but it's broadcasting out and people are starting to watch it and send people there, right? And right. Also I posted on a lot of Facebook groups as well too that I'm on.
Well, here's what I was thinking we would do. We actually could stream directly into the groups. Now, with this new upgrade, we could go simultaneously and stream to all those groups at the same time. Okay. So whichever group happens to be tuned in, they're going to get a notification, hey, we're live. And if they're a part of several groups, they're going to get notification, hey, they're live in several places.
Now, does that go for any of the YouTube watch time or no? I don't think so, right? Because it's going through StreamYard, not through YouTube, right?
No, it goes through YouTube as well, because what we can always do is If people are watching the stream inside the group, that does not count toward your YouTube watch time.
Right, because it's going from StreamYard to Facebook, not through YouTube to Facebook.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've been having conversations with StreamYard about seeing if they could come as guests onto our Saturday broadcast. So what's happening Saturday? Okay, let's talk about what's happening Saturday. Really, what's going to be the purpose of tomorrow? Our goal right now is to get everyone ready for Saturday. Okay, we've only got this week. Saturday is going to be the largest broadcast that we've ever done inside of Easy One Up. Wow. I think we ought to stream it simultaneously to the groups because I'm more interested in people seeing us live than us clocking in the hours, because we can always email out the replay. And if it's 5 hours or 3 hours or however long that live stream is, people will watch the replay. We've seen as much as 7,500 people watch our live streams for 7.5 hours. Okay.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. So this is going to be even bigger than that. My goal is that it's twice the size, because not only will all of Easy One Up be there, but our CEO of Builderall, Mr. Eric Salgado, Eric Salgado will be there live with us precisely during the broadcast. Now I'm getting a confirmation on the time. There was a miscommunication between me and James about when that's going to be, but we're going to be starting noon Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. This is Saturday, the 20th, and it's going to be Vertex Live. Now, if you are not yet in Vertex Live, what you want to do is upgrade to Vertex Live as quickly as possible and get back to your sponsor, because we will be doing lots of cool things with you with cameras and Zoom. Okay. We're going to have Zoom running in parallel, and we're going to bring some of you in from the Zoom into our StreamYard live broadcast. Okay. Does that make sense, Peter?
Why don't we just do all one or the other instead of trying to do Zoom and StreamYard? We just do StreamYard, right?
Well, because you couldn't have the Hollywood Squares with 100 people in it. And we already have more than 200 people registered for Zoom. And I don't want to try to reach all those people with an email that they'll never see.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So we're going to continue. That's going to be running in the background. Maybe it might just be chat. But the main point of it, when you look at how Tony Robbins did his recent event, they had one Zoom room that was chained into another Zoom room that was chained into another Zoom room that was chained into another Zoom room. And so they were able to register something like 50,000 people into a live Zoom.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's what they did. We're going to do something even better than that, because what we're going to be doing is everyone who's in the Vertex Live program already has their private links to the Zoom room. And we're also going to be streaming the Zoom in parts where you'll be able to talk and be brought into the StreamYard from the Zoom. Trust me, I'll handle the technical stuff. All you have to worry about, Peter, is just be here at StreamYard. Selena, all right. That's all you have to worry about, because you're already in the inner circle.
Right. Well, Vic, what we got to do is let's hook up tomorrow, and we'll get the email started to go out, because there's a lot of people to email.
391,000 people.
Yeah, it's going to take me a number of days to get those emails out. So yeah, I want to start quick,
And so the way you can prepare for this,
thanks, Levi,
is go to your Easy One Up members area, log in, ask your sponsor, hey, are you in Builderall yet? If no, guess what? They're going to skip past you. Because inside of the Easy One Up, there is a Builderall link that you want to get your Builderall affiliate ID. You want to put that number inside of there. So when you people join your business, they're going to be joining in under you. Otherwise, what's going to happen is your sponsor, when people join, it's not going to keep the chain. You want to talk a little bit about that? Because we had the same problem with intentional mentoring, because a lot of people didn't follow the chain.
Yeah, it just what you want to be able to keep the lineage intact. And all you need to do is go into your downline builder section of your back office and make sure you put your ID there. That's it. And so this way, when you refer people, you can actually get credit for the sale, 30% a month, which is great. 30% a month.
We've run the numbers right now. And if Peter and I keep growing at the rate we're growing, that's going to be one of our biggest income streams ever.
Yeah, you know why? Because it's such a great tool. That's why.
Well, what it does is
they don't leave.
It not only is it just such a great tool, it just keeps getting better and better and better because they keep reinvesting the proceeds back into improving the product.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only way that you can actually build a list. How many people have heard building a list? Selena, you've heard of building a list?
Yes.
Right. Well, every other system out there, they charge you more. The bigger your list gets, the more you pay. With Builderall, the bigger your list grows, there's no penalty, right? And we had an event last week that I actually purchased his product. The chief technology officer of Builderall, who built the email system, taught an email marketing course, which was fantastic. And we streamed that here on. You can actually go look at the replay at Intentional Mentoring. But he was just sharing these very, very important principles about email delivery. What's the point in building a list if no one is paying attention to your emails, right? I just went back into my Builderall. I have about 12,000 subscribers in my Builderall. It's just a small segment of my list. And I have like a 47% engagement rate on my subscribers over there that are on a year-long mentoring program, which means that they're getting emails. I'm getting phone calls from people saying, yep, Vic, I'm getting your email every single day. I said, yep. You know that I'm not writing those emails. They're just pre-made emails I'm just sending out. And they love it, but they feel connected to me because of it.
Yep.
Talk about Builderall a little, please. Okay. Abby wants us to talk about Builderall. Peter, why don't you start with it and I'll finish. And then we'll have Selena go second.
Well, Builderall is an all-in-one place where you can build capture pages, websites, funnels, chat, email marketing. It's pretty much everything all under one roof. Probably 40 to 45 different apps that are all included with that as well too. I literally got rid of $300 to $400 in monthly fees from other things that I had, Aweber and all these different types of things, because it was all included in Builderall for less than $100 a month. So it's an incredible product. So Victor and I actually teach on Builderall Tuesdays and Thursdays, not every week, but a lot of times we will, on the power of the Builderall system, because we actually publish things in there. And this way you can actually take charge of your business by building these things, and very, very simple to use, and a very, very, very powerful product. And they also have a nice commission program as well too, if you refer people to the program as well.
Yeah, so I just brought up their page right here. Okay. Attract new customers every day and sell more with the most complete and powerful digital marketing platform in the world. Start now for just $1 and find out why everyone is switching to Builderall. Okay. So inside of here, that's Eric Salgado, who is going to be our guest on Saturday. Built for beginners and gurus alike. I'm the guru.
Beginner.
I've been doing digital marketing for more than 30 years.
He looks like a guru.
Yeah. I am your guru. I am going to teach you digital marketing, but I can talk with an Indian accent. All right. This is the website builder. It looks fantastic. They just launched version 4.0. So a lot of people said, oh, yeah, that's that Builderall. I was pitched Builderall 2.0 years ago. I said, nah, I'm going to stick with ClickFunnels. I'm going to stick with what I got. But look at the speed test, okay? Performance rate. They have a funnel builder allowing you to build these very sophisticated, complex funnels with one click. And it builds all the pages for you, okay? Then they have the membership areas, A/B split testing, mobile perfection, super checkout. This is what I'm now using with SociSnap. We're actually doing a special for if people jump in to Builderall, we're going to be offering on Saturday a lifetime upgrade to SociSnap for 24 hours. So in other words, if you're in Builderall before Saturday, you can buy SociSnap for life for a one-time payment. We've never done that since what was it? 2018, Peter?
Yep.
Page loading accelerator, smart pop-ups, website sharing, SEO, SSL certificates included, email marketing. Okay. I love their email marketing system. It's fantastic. I use it all the time. Website backups and then chatbots is something that I'm learning at the moment because you can automate your conversion support and sales processes with the Messenger chatbot app. And that plugs right into Facebook, allowing you to follow up with people. If you have an existing WordPress site, you can host it in Builderall and get rid of your old hosting. So that's another way of saving money. They have a magazine builder. They have a directory builder. They have a blogging app. They have a funnel sharing app. They even have their own video hosting, right? So you could cut out your Vimeo payments and host on Builderall. They have a one-on-one private chat system. They have a funnel simulator. That sounds really exciting, where you can actually build your funnel and put your previous data in it, and it tells you how much profit you'll make before you run it. And then they have these turbo templates, which are special templates that load in a blink of an eye. And for me, I just like being part of a community. There's like 50,000 people in their Facebook group. It's just a great place to be. They're very friendly. They're very helpful. They're just wonderful people. So that was my convincer strategy. So here's more of their data. And so just get back to, let me show you where you would go for that. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Selena, do you want to talk about what Builderall is for? Paolo. Oh my gosh. Paolo, we got to have you come on live with us. I'm going to share the link so you can come on live with us.
Well, I'm the opposite end of where Victor is. I'm a beginner, and I just picked up Builderall the month before last, and what I've been doing is watching a video at a time. They have short videos that are very well instructive and helpful. So I'm learning a little bit at a time and creating my funnels. So I'm having fun.
Cool. Good to see you, Paolo. I mean,
yeah,
Paolo
good to see you, buddy.
Is such a wonderful friend. I mean, we hung out in Las Vegas together. We were part of this this other company that a lot of us got our start in. It's great to see you, Paolo. He's in England. It must be the middle of the night there. But if you can come on, it'd be awesome to see you. I put the link for anyone who's with us now. You want to come back on cameras with us and continue the conversation. We can go a little longer. But yeah, back to you, Peter. I wanted to show people where it lives in the Easy One Up back office. So while I bring that screen up, do you want to go ahead and talk a little bit more about Builderall and we're so excited to have Eric join us on Saturday?
Well, I mean, other than him saving his system, saving me hundreds of dollars a month, and the deliverability that it gets, and also the fact that with GetResponse, AWeber, these different types of companies, I really don't make money with them, and not that I'm really super. I want to make money with Builderall, but it's not my initial focus. The product is my initial focus, but they have such a great affiliate program, 30%, 30%, 2 tiers, and just from referring people to that, I was able to defray my cost of the product with a blink of the eye and be able to generate a 4 and soon to be 5-figure income with that. So, hey, from Nepal, welcome. And so that's what we always teach people with tools is to use the product, start referring people to that you bring into your core business to defray the cost of the product. And eventually you'll be able to have an extra amount of cash flow. So this way you can use it for your marketing budget and thus really run your entire marketing for your business for free, right? And that's what a great affiliate program can do with the tools that you offer people. So we do that with Snapchat, we do that with Builderall, and I've been doing that for 30 years like that. So it's been able to not only bless the people that I bring into my business, as well as be able to defray marketing costs and budgets for me as well too. So are you ready, Vic?
Yeah. So this is the easy one-up back office. It says my downline builders. Okay. And so where that lives is you go over to log into your back office, you go to Marketing Hub, and you go to recommended programs. Okay. Recommended programs. And then you want to click on this link right here. Okay. And what that's going to do is you will then be tracked back to your sponsor. Then once you've created your ID inside of Builderall, you're going to get a number, and all you do is paste that affiliate number right in here and click update. And what that allows is your downline to keep the genealogy. In other words, when people sign into their back office, you have your ID in there, and that's going to then pass your ID onto their Builderall, and then the community just keeps growing. So, Peter, can you restate that even simpler? And then, Selena, you could restate that.
Not really. Not really. It's pretty simple. You just get your affiliate ID.
Repetition is the mother of skill,
You just put your affiliate ID in that box after you sign up and hit update, and you're good. You're good. So this way, because you want to be able to get commission, for that. Nothing wrong with getting commission, because that's what we're all doing here. We're all affiliate marketers, right? So if there's money to be had and they want to pay you that money, you should get paid. So that's all you need to do is click on that link, sign up, get your affiliate ID, and put that in the box that's over there. So we'll show you where that affiliate ID is on Vertex Live and how to do that.
Yep. Selena, do you want to restate this for simplicity purposes?
Well, there's nothing more to state about this page, but what I can say is that attending these sessions regularly has really helped me to understand Builderall better. So if you're looking at Builderall and having questions in your mind about it, has already been stated, Victor is definitely the guru, and he can tell you exactly how it works and how to make it. I was surprised and shocked at all the different programs that you were showing. So I'm really excited to kick it into gear and utilize all of the different A/B testing, the speed, making my funnel work more quickly. All of the stuff that you showed, I was trying to write it down, and then I thought, why? I'll just go onto the Builderall page and do it myself. But anyway, it's really an amazing tool. So that's all I got.
Awesome. So Abby says thanks. All All right. Looks like we're not going to have the presence of Paolo, but we'd love to have you on Saturday if you can make it. And maybe, Peter, you could reach out to Paolo and see if he could come on.
Okay.
He's always such a great speaker. And
yeah, we actually went out to dinner with him when he came to New York, him and his girlfriend.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool.
All right.
All right. So we'll be back here tomorrow with a little bit more tactics, and we're going to continue the email marketing that we started last week. But this time we're going to be focusing more on the announcement that's going to be going to all the members of Easy One Up to have them show up to our live event. So very, very excited. All right. So
All right.
did we accomplish what we set out to do? Becoming the entrepreneur you wish to be. Let's have a closing comment from each person here. Starting with ladies first, Selena.
Well, I really love the questions.
Based on the question now is do you have the groundedness, the ground of being to be the entrepreneur that you want to be?
Yes, we all do. You know, exactly what Peter said. We have it within us. Like you said, Victor, too. We have everything we need. It's about having the sense, the confidence, and the knowledge and the faith that we already have within us, everything we need. And now, instead of seeking what we want from the outside, you know, and going to find it outside of you, know that it's all within. Just go within. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Peter, how about you?
What else can I say? Stealing my thunder, baby. But hey, yeah, but thank you, everybody. Guys, every single Monday night, we come up with these great teachings to be able to help you, give you a core foundation for your entrepreneurial endeavors. And today was about finding your talent, being able to cultivate your talent, being able to get your skill level up to a different level so that this way you can command more money. And we've been able to show you lots of different ways to be able to do that and through the stream here that we're showing. And I'll really prime you for the Vertex Live that's coming up next Saturday. So hopefully be able to attend that, and we'll look forward to seeing you then. So back to you, Vic, and we'll close it out.
All right, so I'm just going to ask you, all of you, to just close your eyes for a minute, and I'll guide you in a little meditation, okay? For about 2 or 3 minutes. Is that good?
Okay.
All right, so close your eyes, relax, and take a deep breath, and count slowly downward from 5 to 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now in a healthier, more relaxed, deeper state of mind. I'm going to ask you to count again downwards from 5 to 1, and on each descending number, you will feel yourself getting more relaxed and moving deeper into a healthier state of mind. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are now in a healthier, more relaxed, deeper state of mind. I want you to picture your ideal place of relaxation. It could be a mountain stream. It could be a river. It could be an island. See yourself there. Imagine yourself being there. Listen to the birds. What sounds are around you? If you're near an ocean, can you hear the waves? And I want you to find a building of some kind. And as you walk up to the door, you open up the door and you step inside. What is this place? What is this location that you've found? And on there is a book. And you open the book, and the title of the book says Talent. My talent. What is my talent? What is that one thing that I do better than anyone else in the world that I know deep in my heart of hearts that is my gift that I want to share with the world. Allow that few words to rise up out of the pages and float into your hands. Roll it up like a scroll and touch it to your heart. Now I'm going to count from 1 to 5. On each ascending number, you will feel yourself coming back to the room, coming back to a more awakened state, feeling happy and healthy, better than before. 1, 2, 3. At the count of 5, I will snap my fingers and you'll be wide awake, feeling fine, in perfect health. 4, 5. Eyes open, wide awake, feeling fine, in perfect health, feeling better than before. And so if you have those words, that is your talent, please put them in the chat and we will see you on the other side. Still got it after 20 something years.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me on, gentlemen.
I could do a longer one next time, but maybe.
Yes,
maybe,
please.
Yeah. I found my calling. I can do guided meditations of all kinds of meditations. Anything, any kind of meditation you want. All right. So does anyone have any words that they can put in? Selena, what words did you get? Did you get any words?
Teacher.
Teacher. How about you, Peter?
That's something I'm not wish to share right now.
Okay. Okay. Mine was composer.
Beautiful.
Yeah. When I first did this exercise, it was composer, and it was composer again this time. Because I realized, it's like a symphony, like I'm conducting a symphony, and except I also wrote the score. So that's kind of like what I've always envisioned. So, all right. So thank you all. I hope you all are relaxed now, feeling happy and healthy and wise and free. And take care, and we'll see you on the next one. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.